Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to the podcast and posse, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. I am your host, Tiffany, and this is a special episode today, specifically for those of you who are in the wellness, health, fitness, or healing space, or you desire to be. So it's either or. You might want to be creating a business that is in one of these categories, or you may have already started one, or maybe you are many years in, but you want more success, more profits, more impact. This is for you. Specifically, I chose these industries, the wellness, health, fitness, healing industries, because I've seen this over and over again with the over 1,500 people I've personally coached and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people I've done group coaching with. People in the space of serving and helping others heal, helping others get healthy, helping others improve their mental state, their quality of life. I find that those of you who are in that space have such big hearts, are overgivers, have a tendency to be empaths like myself, and there isn't as much of that side of you that knows those specific marketing strategies, those business tactics that actually translate and work. You're so amazing at serving and getting results, and your heart's in the right place and your compassion's in the right place. But then when it comes to actually like creating a profitable, sustainable, consistent business out of it, it gets lost. There's lots of reasons for this. There's a lot of mindset reasons for this, because usually people who want to help others heal feel very guilty about charging for it, let alone charging a significant amount of money for it. They also tend to feel guilty, uncomfortable, sleazy, gross, annoying when promoting their services or boasting about their talents or their achievements and sharing those, not just once, but sharing them all the time. They would rather be, working with those ideal clients of theirs and helping them get to where they want in life, feeling more confident, finding their self-worth, feeling more connected, feeling less lost, finding their purpose and all those things. And it's so beautiful and it's so important that you're coming from that space. But I want you guys to be able to make the impact that I know you want to make and help more people. So I'm going to help you do that today. I'm going to help give you some clear strategy and some things you need to do that you're either not doing enough of or you're just not doing at all. And this is coming from many, many years of data of working with people. I see the same thing over and over again. Now, you guys know, or you wouldn't listen to my show, that I come from a very heart-centered place. I do not have to have the business at all, Project Me with Tiffany Carter. This is totally by choice. I do not need it for monetary reasons. That doesn't mean I don't charge well for my services, as I should, because I have a high level of self-worth and self-respect for my intellectual property and all my years of experience and the results I get all of you. But I don't have to do this, but I had to. My soul had to do this. And I know so many of you understand what that means, but we also deserve to get paid doing it. And by the way, even if you're someone who's like, well, maybe I should have a nonprofit, nonprofits have to get paid. Nonprofits are businesses. It is a lot of nonprofits I've worked with, their business model's gnarly. They actually need more revenue in order to do all the things that they do because they give so much of their money away. All right. And it takes a lot of people to put on a lot of charity events, to act out their services and the services they're providing in the community. Okay. Like, for example, working with, children of the night. Okay. So as far as sex trafficking and all these, and the organizations I work with who have safe houses and all that work that I do for these girls who have been sex trafficked and need to be pulled off the streets. Here's the thing. The amount of money that goes out in order to maintain those safe houses, in order to have insurance, in order to have therapists on staff, in order to have doctors check out these girls, in order to get them all the surgeries and medical treatments. I won't get graphic because I know, a lot of you listen with your kids. I'll swear, but I won't get graphic about this. But you can only imagine girls who've been sex trafficked, that there's a lot of internal damage and external damage on their bodies. So you can start adding that up. And these doctors and surgeons don't do this shit for free. And I'm not blaming them. They shouldn't have to. But so much money is required, even more than many businesses I've worked with, but they're a nonprofit. So I feel I need to say that mindset wise for you guys. It is selfish and short-sighted to not treat your wellness, your health, your healing business, your profession, and not treat it like a business, because you're not going to be able to help the people you want to make or make that greater impact if you don't. So you're going to have to do it even though you're uncomfortable, even though it feels weird, even though you might not like some of it. If you really want to do what you say you want to do, you're going to have to just do it anyway. And I know it's kind of tough love. I get how awkward that can feel for so many of you, but listen, you're listening to the show, you follow me, many of you hire me because I tell you the truth and I tell you what you need to know and what you need to do, and I cut out all the fluff. So let's get to it. First thing is, you want to have a profitable business and brand in the wellness, health, healing, fitness space. You have to niche, and niche some more. And I don't mean just niche like, oh, I'm targeting new moms who want to tone up their abdomen or something like that. And that's a niche. Don't get me wrong. That's not niching enough. Not niching enough. You have to niche to a level that you've never niched before. There is not one person who comes to me or applies for my private 2-month business coaching and who ends up working with me and gets accepted that has niched enough. Not one person. And this includes people who are already making a lot of money, because I work with both new entrepreneurs starting from scratch or they're making less than $8,000 a month consistently. And I coach entrepreneurs who are making a minimum of $10,000 a month consistently and more. And it can go up. I mean, I work with people who are at $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $300,000 a month. And I still tell them you're not niching enough. Maybe their first prime business is niched enough, but maybe some of their other products or services they're rolling out aren't niched enough. And that's why it's not working. Okay. Or they're not niched enough, you end up spending more time, money, and resources trying to just catch fish. Then you catch a bunch of fish, you catch some dirty diapers, some tires, some plastic bottles, all the crap that's in our ocean. You catch all this stuff, and then you have to spend time and energy and weed through all of this. And you're like, oh, I didn't want that fish, and that's a bunch of minnows and guppies. Clearly, I don't fish, but just go with my analogy here. And you're looking for, I don't know, let's say you're looking for a sea urchin. Is that how you say it? Is it sea urchin or urgent? I don't know how to say it. Whatever. I don't care. So you're looking for a sea urchin. You go through all this and you're like, oh my God, there's not even one here. Yet look how many people I caught and things I caught and fish I caught. So what? It might have felt good pulling that out of the ocean because you have all this stuff in the net, but you didn't catch one buyer. And now you got to go fish again. And then you do it again. Not one buyer. You do it again. Then maybe you get some like crappy sea urchin that's like broke down. Some broke down sea urchin. And you're like, well, I got kind of one, but this isn't really a good quality one. Got to throw it back. And now you got to do it again. Versus niching. You have the right bait, you go into the right waters, you go in the right time of day, you go with the right equipment, you go with the right people, you go with the right mindset, and now you put the net in, and then what comes up? Maybe you get 4 sea urchins, and it feels really light, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't catch anything, this sucks, this didn't work, and you pull it up into the boat, and you got 4 sea urchins. Meanwhile, all this other time and money you spent getting these large hauls, you only caught one broke down one that didn't qualify. And then this time you really zeroed in and you caught 4 and they all said yes and they're all excited to work with you. Which way would you rather go about it? I know you guys have limited energy because you love the fact I talk about that I have to manage my energy so closely as an introvert, an empath, and an intuitive. And I know so many of you listening are either all of them or some of that resonates with you. You might also be a highly sensitive person like I am. We have to be very mindful of our energy. And I don't like that you guys are wasting so much energy not niching enough. So we're gonna get down to that. Here is how we're gonna get you really thinking much more granular with your audience. And I don't care if it's your current audience. I don't care if you're like, girl, I have 100,000 followers already. I don't care. You could have had 500. So listen, yes, I have a little bit of an attitude today. I'm trying to read my own notes, which is really scary. Thank you for sending me to Countryside Montessori School, Mom, where I learned how to do handwriting by tracing my finger over sandpaper on tiles. No offense to those of you moms who have your kids currently enrolled in Montessori. I'm not bashing Montessori, but I mean, let's just say that handwriting kind of learning method didn't work out well for me. Okay, so what do you love helping people with specifically? So what do you love helping people with specifically? If you have current clients or you've, had clients in the past, what are the specific issues that they have that you like helping them with? And don't just go mindset or losing weight, energy. I said specific. That's not specific enough. And you have to make your brain get more specific because our brains are naturally lazy. So get much more specific. What is it you really, really love? You, not what they need. None of that. I'm talking about you right now. What do you specifically love helping them with? And I want you to start writing it all down and this exercise isn't really just done over a day. I kind of want you to do it over like the next week. Anything that comes up, write it down, put it in your notes app or put it, on a piece of paper, whatever works for you. I'd rather it be something that you have with you all the time because haven't you noticed when we're really putting a question out there and brainstorming, we get answers that pop up in the weirdest places. Like some stranger could be talking to you at Starbucks and you're like, oh my God, that's it. And then you tell yourself the lie you're going to remember it and you never do. That's me. So I write everything down. Okay, so if you don't have any clients yet because you haven't started your business yet, or you're very early on, you've helped friends, you've helped family members, and you have an imagination. So what specifically would you love to help people improve or solve in your life? Then the next thing is, if you're still kind of like, I'm not quite there, Tiff, let me ask you this. What were the specific things you struggled with? Because what do I tell you guys? Your ideal client is 99.9% of the time a former version of yourself. The version of yourself before you learned the thing. The version of yourself before you healed. The version of yourself before you lost the weight. The version of yourself before you had any confidence. The version of yourself before you started a business. The version of yourself, before you, got organized, whatever it is. What were the specific things you struggled with? And I want you to sink back into those times and write them all out. Okay. So for me, I go back all the time for Sally Sandebs when I was, struggling in my first 5 years of business, or when I made the transition from employee to entrepreneur. I go back and I relive it like it was yesterday. What did I struggle with? Sometimes it takes a little time for me to get there since it's been a while, but I make sure I get there because that's the best way I can help all of you and find more of you, is to meet people where they're at. You want to meet their clients where they're at and really, really understand them. So answer that question. Next thing is, what are the specific feelings and experiences your ideal client is having? What are the specific feelings and experiences your ideal client is having? And when I say specific, don't go, she's depressed. She has no confidence. She's insecure. That all might be true, but that's not specific enough. You've got to niche down with even these questions. Specific. Okay. So is it that, here's what I mean by specific. Instead of saying she has no confidence, she feels gross. Okay, that's fair. That's true. Let's get more specific. What happens when she goes to put on her clothes? Is she go to put on her clothes and she can't even button those jeans? And those were the jeans that actually used to be kind of baggy on her, that they were her period jeans and she wore when she was bloated. And now those suckers don't even button. Is it that she goes to put on a sports bra to try to do some workout, and now all of a sudden she has back fat rolls that weren't there before? And it's like, oh my God, where the hell did these come from? Is it that she now can't, she used to think so clearly and be someone who was on top of everything, and now she can barely string a sentence together and forgets simple words because her brain fog's so bad? Or she knew she was supposed to get a permission slip signed for her kid's school, and this is something she would never have forgotten before, and she even had it on her calendar and on the whiteboard in the kitchen, and she still forgot, and now she's just horrified and pissed and ashamed and embarrassed of herself. That's what I mean by specific feelings and experiences your ideal client is having. I want you to go that deep. I want you to go that deep in remembering your specifics. And if you've chosen to go into la la land and not remember them, I'm sure you have a friend or a significant other who you can ask to remind me of some of the stuff I struggled with. Okay. And here's another great question that will help prompt you and help you really, niche to get rich is, what is their magic wand wish list? And if, again, you have current clients, these are people, you can ask, or you've had past clients you've asked a version of the question to, or you can embody them. You can answer it. If you don't have any clients right now, you haven't even started yet, then you need to use that intuitive ability, that compassion that I know you have, those empathic skills. What is their magic wish list? Overhear friends of yours talking, family members, strangers at the gym, at the grocery store, at your kid's school, whatever it is. What is it if they just had this wish list of all the little things? I don't mean big things like they wish they had $10 million, then you're not, doing this exercise seriously. Okay. What I'm saying is, what's their magic wish list? Is it like, God, I just want to fit in to those jeans again, like I did before and have them be baggy? I just want that again. Or I just want my memory back. Like I feel like I've lost my mind. I just want to feel like more alert, and I want to be able to remember things like I did before I had the baby. Is it that, oh my God, if my house was just organized, if my kitchen, my closet, my office, if I just could have someone come and organize it all and have a system for me and I'd follow it, this would take so much stress off my plate. I would feel so much freer. I would die for that. Get that specific on what someone would want. And it could be for those of you, who are in wellness or in beauty or something like that, where, you're a massage therapist or you do body work or, you do facials or Botox or whatever. This all works for that too. Right? I mean, really, this is like, I wish I didn't have to. I wish my eyelashes weren't translucent and you couldn't even see them. I look so tired all the time, no matter what I do or how much sleep I get or how much celery juice I drink or coconut oil I slather on myself. I want to look more awake and just, a vibrant version of myself. And I've tried so many different things. What can work, right? This is that, like, it's like a micro wish list. Yeah, we all have the big wish list. Like, I want a stunning house that's beachfront. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have that, but I'm talking like those everyday things, because it's really usually the everyday things that appear smaller. Those are the things that weigh us down, that bother us the most, that bring us down. And those are also the very things that change our lives the most, when those very things are improved or turned around in our lives. I mean, everyone knows that feeling of knowing that if you can put on pretty much anything in your closet, it's going to fit great. That's a fantastic feeling. And many of you also know what it feels like, that you're kind of dread to put on something in your closet because there's a high chance it won't fit, and then it derails your entire day. So I'm just giving you some examples. I can't go through obviously every single specialty, but this can even go for bloating. Like I wish my stomach wasn't always so bloated, or it could be, I wish I was regular and I could just poo every day. I mean, for the love of God, bring the poo, I mean, so get down to that granular level with your people and create a running list. I have a running list to this day in my notes app in my phone, because I'll just have an idea. Maybe I see like something or magazine at the checkout stand in the grocery store. I overhear someone complaining about something at the gym and I go, yep, that's something that really bothers Sally Sandebs. What is it that your ideal client thinks and doesn't tell anyone? What are her dirty little secrets that she's a little too ashamed or just isn't comfortable telling anyone? And hint, you had them too. So what were yours? Start there. This is how you really stand out in these specialties that can appear to be very highly saturated. Yeah, there are a lot of wellness, health, fitness, and healing professionals out there. There's also a lot of business people out there. There's a lot of singers. There's a lot of actors. There's a lot of doctors, lawyers, accountants, nurses. There's a lot of everything out there. So if you want to stand out, you have to get more granular and niche specific and focus on one thing. Focus on back fat. Focus on looking more awake. Focus on brain fog. Focus on pooping regularly. Focus on those things that would make your ideal client's life better. And if that was just improved, and they'd be like, oh my God, my life's so much better just from that thing. You don't have to have and solve the big promise, right? you're going to find the love of your life. That's great. You can include that in there, but go much more granular with it and get inside of her head. If you love this episode, take a screenshot, share it on social media, and tag me, and I will reshare it in my stories. You tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Let me know. I would love it if you actually tagged me, with that screenshot and put in your niche in there that you have maybe refined further from listening to this podcast. That would be awesome. And then I will reshare it and tag you, which PS, this is really good to grow your following. So I would love, love, love to see if you really resonated from this episode. This also helps us know if we should create more episodes around this subject matter, or if it's like, no one really cares, Tiff, so let it go. All right. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.